What triathlons would you like to do before you kick the bucket?
We made our list and I've actually ticked most of these off, but I highly recommend them if you're looking for a challenge and experience in 2023. So let's jump into GTN's bucket list. First on our list, the Escape From Alcatraz Triathlon. Every year for over 40 years now, triathletes have descended upon San Francisco to do what was once thought impossible: escape from Alcatraz. This race attracts world champions, Olympic athletes, and triathletes from all over the world to an iconic event.
Yeah, they put their endurance and adventurous spirits to test over San Francisco's legendary bay, steep hills, rugged terrain, and a grueling 400-step sand ladder. And for that reason, it is consistently ranked as a must-do event, even among triathletes, and attracts thousands of athletes each summer to see who has what it takes to escape.
Yeah, it consists of a 1.5-mile swim, an 18-mile bike, and a grueling 8-mile run through the Golden Gate recreational area. This is actually one that I haven't ticked off on my bucket list. Have you, Mark?
No, me neither. I'd love to though. I just want to jump off that ferry just off the island. It looks amazing.
Although I've heard it's got cold water, so.
A second on our list, the Sgrail 100 Gravel Triathlon. This is actually the youngest event on our list, and we had a lot of fun taking part in the inaugural event. And for that reason, this is absolute must do and definitely should make it onto your bucket list. Partly because the Sgrail 100 is much more than just a race. It's a sporting adventure. You start from the coast in Getty and work your way off-road all the way over to the old town of Girona. If you're lucky, you might get to ride with or even race Jan Frodeno and finish with a beer.
Yeah, it's a 1,500 meter swim, an 88 kilometer almost entirely gravel ride, and then a 10.5 kilometer trail run to wrap it off. And you get to see Girona, which is well worth a visit too. We definitely had a lot of fun there, as Mark says. And yeah, as he says, more of a tri-adventure than a race, but it's well worth ticking off your bucket list. Number 3 on our list, the Challenge Laguna Phuket Triathlon, just when you thought your season was over. It's hosted some of the most famous names in the sport of triathlon over the years as the ultimate season ender called the Race of Legends. It's held in Laguna Phuket in Thailand, and it starts in the Andaman Sea, and halfway through the swim you actually jump out, run over a little beach and jump into a freshwater lagoon. And I have to say, having done this one, that is a shock to the system. It feels like you're going to sink. I'm probably not selling it as an amazing selling point of the race, but it is something you remember from this one.
I've heard a lot of people talk about that. It still sold it to me though, although I've never been able to go myself. The same goes for the bike as well. I've heard it's incredibly challenging, but obviously very scenic because it goes through the Phuket countryside, local villages, and then onto some rather challenging and imposing hills towards the end. The run also takes in the Laguna Phuket destination and then finishes back on the beautiful beach.
Yeah, I have done this one, as I said, and it is definitely worth going to Thailand for any excuse really, but if you get to do a triathlon while you're there, all the better. So yeah, put that one on your bucket list.
And fourth on our list, Norseman Xtreme Triathlon, often regarded as one of the toughest events out there, and that probably won't put a lot of you off. It'll probably lure some of you in. I know what you're like. This one takes place on the first weekend of August each year, and it's only open to 290 athletes each year. So it's incredibly tough to get into. However, each year you get another lottery spot for that ballot, so you should hopefully eventually get a spot. Now the course is a point-to-point course. It starts in Eidfjord. You jump off the back of a ferry, 4 meter drop down into the Hardanger Fjord, swim into the shore of Eidfjord, and then up and over the Hardangervidda plateau, and then finally finishing atop of Mount Gustatop in 1,850 meters above sea level and 220 kilometers away.
Yeah, while Mark's eyes glaze over with his fond memories of this event, I will warn you that this is a big adventure not to be taken lightly by everyone's accounts, including Mark's. It does have some of Norway's most spectacular scenery, but it does also feature more than 5,000 meters of elevation gain. And the weather, it's always cold in the water, but it could be anything from brilliantly beautiful to an absolute blizzard, and sometimes you get both of those on the same day. So definitely not to be taken lightly, but by all accounts, it also should be on your bucket list.
Yeah, I have fond memories, but emotional memories from that day.
Number 5, the Challenge Wanaka Triathlon Festival. This is actually one that neither Mark nor myself have actually ticked off our bucket list yet, but by all accounts, it is one of the world's toughest and most honest triathlon courses. It is set on the stunning backdrop of New Zealand's Southern Alps and the Te Waihi World Heritage Area, and by all accounts, this is somewhere you have to see, so why not include a triathlon while you're there?
Yeah, as James says, this unfortunately is an event that we have experienced, unfortunately. It is New Zealand's largest triathlon festival. It has events for all ages and abilities, and each year tracks over 2,000 athletes and over 10,000 spectators.
Impressive. Like saying Te Waihi.
And 6th on our list is the Alpe D'Huez Triathlon. This one is also a bit of a triathlon festival with everything from kids races to duathlons to a short distance triathlon, which is shorter than Olympic distance, but will definitely take you longer than a normal Olympic distance, and a long distance triathlon, all of which feature the famous 21 switchbacks on the bike up to Alpe D'Huez, which we often see featured in the Tour de France. Well, the kids race won't have the 21 switchbacks. No. But either way, it still should feature on your bucket list.
Yeah, it definitely should. This one's actually really close to my heart. I have really fond memories there. It is a spectacular race, taking in all those French Alps scenery and amazing climbs, and obviously the French triathlon culture. They absolutely love it there. It is definitely a bucket list event. In fact, you stay in Alpe D'Huez at the top of the mountain, and you start the day by riding down to the start to rack your bike in the morning, and then you rack your bike, and then you start, and they take a dry kit bag back up. It is really a spectacular event, and I cannot actually wax lyrical forever on this. I could easily carry on going. Definitely put it on your bucket list. You won't regret it, I promise you. But before you go, make sure you do some climbing training.
James is being too modest as well because he's won it twice. So yeah, he's got some very fond memories from it.
Told you I had good memories there. Number 7, Noosa Triathlon. Another one that I've unfortunately not ticked off my bucket list, but is one of the most famous triathlons in the world. Noosa is actually a resort town in southern Queensland's Sunshine Coast, north of Brisbane, and apparently it's spectacular.
Yeah, it is in fact one of the biggest, if not the biggest, Olympic distance triathlons in the world. And it races around the town's stunning main beach, the town centre and hinterland, before finishing with its famous Walk of Fame. Yeah, and that's just the racing.
Yeah, the real reason that you're going there is just triathlon is just an excuse to go and see the surf and the beaches and the spectacular national parks, the cafes and the bars. Yeah, it is apparently just an excuse to get there. Mark and I really need to put this one on our list.
Number 8 on our list, Xterra Triathlon. Now this isn't a specific race necessarily, more of a race format, but Xterra is one that you definitely should put on your bucket list. It's like a normal triathlon, but the bike is mountain biking and the running is trail running, and it's not as scary as it sounds. It's actually a lot more rewarding than you think.
Yeah, there are more than 50 Xterras around the world, so you should be able to find one somewhere near you in your backyard, and I really recommend that you dust off that mountain bike or borrow one from someone and get yourself out of your comfort zone and get out there, get a little dusty, get a little muddy, and I guarantee you, you won't regret it. You'll be adding a few more Xterras to your bucket list after that first one. It is a real vibe.
It really is, and they've actually got tons of different events within them. You can do a long distance gravel event, and different courses are more challenging than others. So have a look around, have a little look on their website. They've got tons. They've got the World Champs in Italy again this year. They've got the European Champs now taking place in Belgium, and the UK has got a new Xterra as well.
Number 9, Embrunman. This is another one that is close to my heart.
Another one that he's won.
Yes, but don't take this one lightly, because if you do, this one might be the bucket that you kick. In the French Alps, there is a small town called Embrunman, and for over 40 years, it has hosted one of the most epic triathlons in the world.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about this event over the years. It starts in the dark and climbs up over the massive Col des Ardes at 2,360 meters above sea level, midway into the 188-kilometer bike. It is one of the toughest iron distance triathlons out there.
Yeah, it's nearly 5,000 meters of climbing on the bike, and then you finish that with a marathon, which is also fairly hilly. It is tough, but it also features that amazing French passion for triathlon, and it's definitely something that if you're feeling a bit tough and want a big challenge, you should put on your bucket list. I promise you, you won't regret it.
And finally, our number one triathlon has to be Challenge Roth. If you get the chance, then do not hesitate. Although you're gonna have to be fast, because it sells out in roughly 39 seconds each year.
Yeah, but this race has it all. Originally Ironman Germany, but taken over and run independently by the Volschhofer family since 2002. This race is pretty spectacular. The best triathletes in the world, a fast but challenging course, and as many as 250,000 spectators lining the course. It is a goosebump experience from start to finish.
Yeah, if there's one event that you put on your bucket list from our list today, and make sure it's this one. It really is a remarkable experience.
Yeah, let us know if there's any other triathlons that we haven't put on our list. Obviously, we only had space for 10 here today, and there are so many triathlons around the world, so I'm sure you have one that you will vote for. Leave it in the comment section down below and let us know which one we missed out on, but also let us know how we did on our list. I think it's pretty good. I've ticked off 6 of our list.
Yeah, you've done a lot better than me. 3. Yeah, I've got a bit of work to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I did want to put Otolo in.
It's not a triathlon.
Yeah, I guess we could open a whole can of worms.
Yeah, exactly. We've got to put a UTMB on there. Probably Cape Epic too, if you're going to go into all endurance.
Maybe there's another video there.
Yeah,
well,
whole another bucket list.
I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. If so, please do give it a thumbs up, give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe.
Thanks for watching.